So let's begin our meditation contemplation today by bringing our attention, our awareness fully to this present moment. To consciously be aware of being aware in the moment that you are right here, right now, no past, no future. And just noticing what is it to be right here, right now? What is that experience? And with that, let's bring our awareness now to our breathing, and we'll breathe together for 5 counts. On each count, breathing in and out. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth if that is possible and comfortable. At the top of the in-breath, we will hold for a moment, and then breathing out with full awareness on the breath. Let's all breathe together now to the count of 1. Breathing in, holding breath for a moment, and breathing out. And relax. Breathing in to the count of 2. Holding breath. And breathing out. And relax. Full awareness on the breath. Breathing in to the count of 3. Holding breath. And breathing out. And relax. And finally, breathing in to the count of 4. Holding breath. Breathing out. Breathing in to the count of 5. Holding breath. Breathing out. And relax fully. Now bringing your attention awareness fully within, going beyond the thinking mind, becoming the noticer, the one who notices the mind, the seat of awareness, consciousness. And from there, experiencing the contemplation meditation. Michael Singer begins the chapter by asking the question, why do we not live in an ecstatic state of one point of consciousness all the time? He mentions the world comes in. It's a very beautiful thing when the world comes in. The act of experiencing it is tremendously moving when it comes all the way in. It does not mean that it all feels the same. How heat feels different from cold because it is different. It does not mean that one is better than the other. They're just different. If somebody gently touches you, that feels very different than if somebody were to bump into you. Just noticing that things are experienced in different ways. In Buddhism, it is said that everything has its nature. How a coiled rattlesnake comes into the mind is a very different experience than a butterfly landing on your arm. The rattlesnake is simply giving off its nature, emanating its particular vibration. That vibration is indeed awesome, but it does not create the same inner experience as the butterfly. It's neither right nor wrong. It's very real. Again, Mickey Singer asking the question, what's wrong with having a variety of experiences? If a butterfly were to land on you every moment, it would become so normal that it would mean nothing. Your consciousness expands because of the knowledge that flows into it. You learn and grow through every experience that you have. This learning is true spiritual growth, the evolution of the soul. In the same way that everything you learn makes you smarter, every experience you have makes you wiser. When the presence of the rattlesnake comes into your mind, it is not a comfortable experience. It does not feel the same as the butterfly, yet it is equally as rich, equally as important, if you are willing to be open at this level. Life becomes an idyllic garden. There are no problems. There are learning experiences that no matter what happens, you are becoming greater. Yet that is not how we live. First, something comes in. Let's begin with the rattlesnake. A hissing rattlesnake is meant to be an uncomfortable experience. It could even generate discomfort at a very deep survival level, a strong inner reaction to the outer experience. Yet it is not uncomfortably bad per se. It is a different vibration. In the same way that some colors soothe and others are harsh. The colors are neither bad nor good. They are different vibration rates of the electromagnetic spectrum. You can learn to be comfortable with these different vibrations. The same way the rattlesnake is not going to be there rattling your entire life. It's going to come and it's going to go. Its uncomfortable vibrations are going to go with it. And then something else will occur. We all live in a happening place filled with growthful experiences. You are simply in there, experiencing creation as it comes in and passes through you. Many of us do not practice this level of acceptance, even though we have that opportunity. You have the ability to resist what is not comfortable to you. You can use that will, your inner will, like inner hands to push away thoughts and emotions if they do not feel right. Notice how many times you have done exactly that. That resistance is an act of will. Will is an innate power we all have. It is a power that emanates from consciousness. In the same way that the sun stays where it is in space, yet it emanates rays that have incredible power. Noting so too how our consciousness remains at its source. Its awareness emanates out onto whatever it focuses on. Like a singer mentions in the book, that there is great power when consciousness focuses on something. In the same way, there's great power when the sun's rays are focused, concentrated consciousness. That is the source of the power of will. This power of will has a very important role in understanding how our mind developed from a place of clarity to one of confusion. Notice, bring awareness again to how your awareness does not fall evenly on all objects that render in your mind. How you pay attention to some objects more than others. If the vibration of the object was more comfortable or uncomfortable, you either liked or disliked it. This is the foundation of how the personal mind got built. Likes and dislikes. This happens at a very primal level. Notice how it depends on whether you in there have the ability to experience something that comes in without doing anything about it other than fully experiencing it. The ability to allow objects to simply pass through. Just contemplate how an inner experience, if it is not neutral to you, it will draw your consciousness to focus on it. The moment that happens, the things passing through your mind are no longer even equal. One has stood out from the rest. All it took for that to happen was for you to focus your consciousness on it. Your consciousness is a force. You are focusing that force on a particular mental object. When that happens, that object cannot pass through the mind like the other objects. In the same way that the solar winds interfere with objects passing through space, focused consciousness is a force. that affects objects passing through the mind. When you focus consciousness on a particular mental form, you impede that form's ability to pass through the mind. The very act of concentrating on it makes it stay in the mind. We all know this. When you do math in your mind, you concentrate on the numbers so they stay long enough for you to manipulate them. Notice how any time you want to hold something in your mind, you first focus your consciousness on it so it does not fade away. Concentration of consciousness freezes forms in the mind so that they do not pass through. When you saw the rattlesnake, it might have been a standalone item in your mind. It may have felt that way, experienced it in that way. The truth is, there were also trees, sky, grass, other things, items rendering in your mind aside from the snake. But you focused your consciousness on the rattlesnake and let the rest pass through. Because you focused so much consciousness on it, you froze the experience of the snake in your mind. Notice how there was no way you were going to let this uncomfortable experience all the way in. And that is the birth of resistance. Letting it all the way in is like the beautiful sunset and the perfect romantic experience. You want to fully experience these beautiful moments, so you open up and allow them to pass all the way into your being. These special moments in life. When something touches you to the core of your being. There is no way this rattlesnake is going all the way in there. You do not have to think about it. Resistance is simply a natural response to something that's not comfortable. You try to keep it at a distance. Contemplate for a moment how something someone said that hurt you in your past, maybe an awkward time when you were young, the stage you were going through, or a terrible divorce. Everyone has that experience. It does not mean the event did not happen. It would not be in there if it hadn't already happened. You cannot stop the event from having happened, but you do not have to let it all the way in. Mind is a very big place. There's enormous room between where the experience is first imaged in your mind and where you actually fully experience it. You can use mental image at a distance, keeping it at a distance by using your will. This is a primal act of resistance. Now that you have resisted experiencing the rattlesnake, for example, and let the rest of the moment pass through, here comes the butterfly. It lands on you, a beautiful experience that you naturally focus on it. When it starts to fly away, you do not want it to go away. And so you use your will to hold on to the mental image. This is what Buddhists call clinging. You can't hold on to the butterfly itself because it flew away. So you try to hold on to the mental thought pattern of the butterfly. You push away what it was like to experience the rattlesnake, and you cling to what it was like to experience the butterfly. Neither of these mental patterns can finish their natural journey through the mind. Notice that you not only lose out on fully experiencing them to the depth of your being, you are also left with mental patterns stuck in your mind. Neither the rattlesnake nor the butterfly remain before you, but they are left as patterns in the mind's energy field. This is the power of like and dislike. Both clinging and resisting keep the mental renderings in your mind. Like a singer again reiterates, this is very important to comprehend, to understand. Experiential mind was designed to be like a clear TV screen. It renders the image being sent to it, but now you've held on to the images that are no longer being generated by the outside world. They got stuck in your mind as mental patterns. As a result, you may be out of harmony with reality. You were in there experiencing this beautiful gift of reality. Now you're also experiencing the patterns that you held on to in your mind. These patterns are totally different from the patterns in other people's mind. Each person trapped in mental patterns that are unique to that person. They come from how we interacted with our past experiences. We've all had past experiences and interacted with them differently. This is the birth of the personal mind. The problem is reality is not personal. We did not create this world. We are simply experiencing the miracle of creation unfolding around us. There are rattlesnakes and butterflies in the world. But now there are rattlesnakes and butterflies in your mind, even when they are not actually in front of you. Reality has to compete now with them for your attention. Your ability to fully focus on the outer world is going to be hindered by the constant distractions of these inner impressions. Just bring awareness to that. Let's take a moment now to regroup that contemplation, meditation in silence. And now, when you're ready, bringing your attention awareness back to the physical body itself, the chair that you're seated in, the room that you're in, and these sounds that may be present. And when you feel comfortable, gently opening your eyes, coming back, awake, aware, and fully present.